know those two guys from work who won't shut up about football, but are pretty damn entertaining? Well, they decided to buy a couple microphones. And with that, we welcome you to the CheesyCorn Sports Podcast, where Justin Adams and Martin Chaney wrangle over everything college football and NFL. Bold predictions, hot takes, and live game reactions. This is CheesyCorn Sports.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to CheesyCorn Sports Friday Night Lights, second or third edition, cannot remember. We have made it a little after time. Chaney got in a fist fight with his computer. Chaney, how you doing?
Right. Yeah. You think I look bad? You should see the computer.
Yeah. That might be the problem.
No, I don't know anything really about technology, and the further I dive into technology, the more that I am reminded that I don't know anything about technology. So,
and then you're reminded that
times, but it's all good. We're here.
Then you're reminded that I have no idea what I'm doing and can't help. I just told you to paste it and put Reddit behind it.
You know, it's
and
funny.
Get an answer.
That's exactly what I did.
That's my answer for everything, honestly.
Yep.
Just whatever I want is the question, and then Reddit.
Yep.
All right, guys. Again, welcome into Friday Night Lights. I am Justin, aka Corn, and that is Cheese over there. As y'all have seen him introduce himself, very angrily. No, I'm just, he's in a better mood now, guys. That's why we pushed it back. He had to do some breathing and meditation. What we do here on Friday Night Lights, it's a more casual stream. We're going to go over a little bit of Thursday Night Football, run over some of the last week's games and fantasy results, and get into a little bit of NFL stuff and updates on injuries, etc. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with Thursday Night Football. What do you say? For whatever that was that we watched. One thing it was Scorigami, by the way, Scorigami. If those of you don't know what Scorigami is a Twitter page, and it tracks NFL scores, and it'll tell you if that score has ever been gotten before, or if it's Scorigami. Scorigami means it's a unique score that's never been scored before. So last night we got Scorigami, 6-13, I think it was. So that's a good day. It's a good day. And also, if you got questions, drop them in the comments. If you do want to call into the show, we will drop a link in there, and you are able to join us, ask questions, talk your trash, do whatever you want to do. What's up, Chris? Chris is in the chat already. All right. Thursday Night Football, Chaney, what were your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are you and me are talking about Thursday. We're starting Thursday Night Football right now.
Correct.
And that is still before the Los Angeles Chargers are starting Thursday Night Football.
Correct.
And they played in the game, allegedly.
Which means Brandon Staley got fired before the Chargers stepped on the field.
I don't know when he got fired. I know he's fired now.
He got fired today.
I was going to say.
He should have got the Herm Edwards treatment, ASU, and just got fired on his way off the field.
There you go.
That's probably the best course of action.
Let him make the tunnel employed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they also fired GM Tom Telesco. So they just
cleaned house.
I don't know who the interim is right now, but
can you fire the owner? Well, I guess if you got a leadership group, but yeah. What were your thoughts on that game? What happened? I guess is the best way to put it. What happened?
Well, Max Crosby reintroduced himself as one of the most probably not underrated, I would say, pass rushers, defensive playmakers in the NFL. I feel like not a lot of people talk about him in terms of the elite. Like, everyone knows who Max Crosby is. Everyone knows like he's a good football player.
Yes.
But nobody ever really talks about him in the same regard as TJ Watt or Myles Garrett or like the elite folks, the ones that always, think of the best of the best. Yep. And he might be. I'm not saying he is the best pass rusher in the NFL, I'd certainly think he's closing in on that top 5 territory, though. I think there are bigger names that probably are not as good, but people put them ahead because they are bigger names. And he came into this game banged up, game time decision type thing, and he basically told the training staff to fuck off. He's going to play, and that he did. And once again, made a big impact, not just on the stat sheet, but also just on the field in between the plays as well. I think that defense as a whole just plays better when Max Crosby's on the field.
Yeah.
And, of course, you had Easton Stick at quarterback. No Keenan Allen. Offensive line's already terrible. It was a recipe for disaster for the Chargers.
Yep. And then you had guys like Divine Diablo, if I'm pronouncing his name right, 12 tackles. Yeah, hard-hitting journalism. 12 tackles. Max Crosby, like you said, had a tremendous game. So one of probably the biggest fantasy questions that's interesting everybody, right, is what to do with Austin Eckler right now. So Austin Eckler this offseason, those of you probably know, didn't sign an extension, kind of bet on himself for this season, and it's not going well. And if you're an Austin Eckler owner, I am a former Austin Eckler owner. I traded him earlier this season. Thank God I did. Well, it didn't matter. And whatever. I didn't really matter because I just needed to get younger. It's a dynasty team, and I had like Cooper Kupp and Eckler, and I needed to get younger. But thank God I did, because he's been terrible. 5 carries, 9 yards. I think I talked about this like 3 weeks ago on the show, just his lack of efficiency. And boy, because his fantasy numbers were still in the 20s, but boy, has that efficiency or lack thereof caught up to him in a bad way. 5 carries for 9 yards, 4 receptions for 29 yards, 6 targets. That's not a good day at the office, to put it lightly. Jacoby Myers, great game. Devontae Adams, for those who have Devontae Adams, 12 targets. Aiden O'Connell loves Devontae Adams, or at least against the Chargers. By the way, anybody who's playing against the Chargers in the upcoming weeks, if they're on a waiver wire, just go pick them up. Playing against the Chargers, go pick those players up. I don't care if they're backups or what. There's a chance with this Chargers team playing like they are, they might see the field and they might help you out. So, Josh Kelly, your best buddy, 5 carries, 22 yards, put up better numbers than Eckler. But the big story on the Chargers side, Josh Palmer. 4 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep.
Question herein lies: what the heck is going on with Quentin Johnson?
Well, coming into the NFL draft last year, not fantasy draft, but the actual NFL draft, you and I broke down our favorite dynasty receivers.
Yep. We weren't.
I'm giving you credit here. You had QJ a lot further down than most people, myself included. I had him as my wide receiver 2, ahead of the likes of Jordan Addison, ahead of the likes of Zay Flowers, ahead of the likes of Josh Downs, all of them.
Yep.
And you said, I believe you actually pegged Zay Flowers actually being higher.
Yes.
Remember correctly.
I had Zay Flowers as, I believe, wide receiver 3.
Yeah. And the things that you highlighted with QJ in your analysis of him was, and again, I'm like paraphrasing here, right?
Sure.
It was the route tree is not polished, it's not developed. The
drops.
The hands were an issue
with his body. He still hasn't got out of that habit.
Right. And the biggest question mark was his senior year at TCU, his like massive target share and everything, was that as a result of you're playing at TCU and there's literally no one better?
Yep.
Or is he good?
Mm-hmm. And the fact that his highest graded games that basically propped up his entire season.
Yep.
He had 2 huge games.
Yep.
And the rest outside of that were pretty average,
Right.
So he was propped up by 2 huge games.
Yep.
The people, when the draft comes around, everybody's looking at the high level overview and not really looking at it in a little more detail. But yeah, Quentin Johnson, 2 catches, 23 yards with a long of 17. That puts him on the season. He has 51 targets, 31 receptions,
Oof.
356 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, I drafted him and immediately traded him because I was unfortunate that I had to draft him because he was better than what was around, but I offloaded him ASAP. So
sure.
That worked out. Anything really else that stands out to you on this Charger game? I mean, Isaiah Spiller, let's talk about what's going to happen next week if Brandon Jacobs is out. First off, just to touch on a couple of the running backs. Josh Jacobs, sorry. Brandon Jacobs' son is visiting Nebraska's campus today. So
is
that's
he
why,
really?
Yeah, Braden Jacobs. So that's why I have Brandon Jacobs on the mind. So his son Braden is visiting Nebraska today. So, so we got Zamir White, right? Yeah. Are you a fan of Zamir White? What are your? Zamir White last night, by the way, 17 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown with a long of 15.
Yeah. It's funny to me because I believe the other back in Las Vegas that played last night was it Amir Abdullah?
Yes.
So
Big Red.
It's funny to me because whenever I see Zamir White play, I think of a younger Amir Abdullah.
I can see that.
Like, it's just pound for pound, very strong. Kind
of the highest top end speed.
Yeah, kind of fits into that like Jerick McKinnon, JD McKissick type role, as far as like the skill set goes.
Yep.
And I just thought it was funny that I saw both, the young version and the old version.
Yep.
Of the same player, basically. But no, I mean, when you're going up against this Charger defense, yeah, you have the chance to shine.
Yep.
The big thing that I did want to at least bring to light, you were talking about Austin Eckler and the inefficiency. Mm-hmm. Last night was the 4th game of the season for Austin Eckler where he averaged under 2 yards a carry.
Nice.
And let's keep in mind, he missed 3 games because of injury as well.
Yep.
So you're talking a pretty good percentage of your games this year. He's RB21 on the week, not including last night. Mm-hmm. Yikes. Not what you were expecting when you drafted him in the first round, 6th overall in your drafts.
Exactly.
So, yeah, but oh man,
yes, right. Go Big Red.
Yeah, but you also talked about.
Love to see. Hold on. We need to have a moment here.
Go ahead.
We got to go Big Red in the chat. Please. Go Big Red. Go Big Red. All right, cool. I got it on my system. Go off. Right. I appreciate you, Paul. That's my middle name, by the way.
But yeah, so basically, all I'm really trying to say is this is a long-winded way of saying the Chargers is a dumpster fire. You talked about how Eckler bet on himself.
Yep.
And
failed.
We've seen players bet on themselves before, and it pays off.
Yep.
It pays off greatly.
Not with running backs. We try to tell them. We try to tell running backs, don't do this.
Right. But you saw Lamar Jackson last year bet on himself, right? Turned out, did a very good job, got his contract that he deserved. Dak Prescott did it a couple of years ago too.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins did it way back when he was still with Washington with all the franchise tagging every single year and stuff like that. However, there are a lot of use cases out of the running back position specifically where betting on yourself does not pay off.
Absolutely. And more so in the running back position.
Is specifically one. You know what I mean? And so
and it's devalued more since Le'Veon. Like the running back position has still been devalued. more and more and more. It's more committees. These guys are getting paid less for a reason. It's not like the NFL and the owners groups conspiring against running backs. That's what they make it seem like, right?
Right.
But what's really happening is the position's being devalued, so they're not going to get as much money, and that's the nature of the beast. That's business, right?
Yep.
The running back position is devalued. As simple as that. And now you got wide receivers who can basically slide over and play running back because it's a lot of just receiving in a lot of these cases.
And Jonnu Smith, don't forget him. He can take the bulk of the running back carries as well.
Yeah.
So, but I think in talking just about the running back value as a position, right?
Shout out LaShawn McCoy, by the way. Shout out LaShawn McCoy.
Good to see good old John in the chat. Good old Jay Dangles.
Welcome back, John.
Good old Jay Dangles, as some might know him as. But anyway, the running back position as a whole, right, is the only position in pro football that is expected to receive upwards of 200-300 plus carries a year or touches. Just receive the ball. And inherently, when you give them the ball that much, you're also expecting them to get hit that much.
Correct.
And so from a pure injury risk standpoint, the running back position is more inherently likely to get hurt based on the increased number of times they are hit.
Yep.
That alone is cause for the owners to say, why am I going to pay the person that gets hit the absolute most on my team more money?
Yep.
And then you throw on top the fact that you're seeing a bunch of these teams now, they're winning Super Bowls with these running back committees. They're winning Super Bowls with people on veteran minimums. You're seeing them on rookie contracts, all this type of stuff. And they're winning Super Bowls, which also tells you investing in the running back room, you can win without it. You can save that money, put it elsewhere, go buy an offensive line, go buy a defense, whatever the case may be. And and you'll be just fine. And so every single time one of these running backs bets on themselves and loses, it only hurts their case further.
Facts. Yep.
So that's my little spiel. And
let's go back to kind of what you were talking about the touch count, right? Because I found something interesting. You mentioned the 200 touch mark specifically, right? So if we go back to 2019, 2020, that season, right? Here are the leaders in touches, right? Total touches, the leader, Christian McCaffrey, 403. Zeke, second, 355. Fournette, 341. Chubb, 334. You got to go way down here to Ronald Jones to find the first one under 200 touches. Now, I know the season's not over, but we're this close, right? So 403 total touches for CMC. Move that over to this year. CMC is the top at 278 touches.
Yeah.
There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 running backs over 200. And this is in a day and age where they pass more to the running back. So imagine how much less they run. And that's why the running back position has become so sparse in fantasy.
Yep.
They're not getting the same volume. It's a passing league. There's a reason the quarterback has become the MVP trophy, essentially. It's a quarterback award. Hopefully Tyreek can pull it out this year or CMC. But yeah, that's why. Like, it's just simply that the NFL is just going more and more to passing, and that's a significant drop off in the touches. Significant. If we even look back 2021 and 2022, or 2020 and 2021. Sorry, even then, it's still upwards of. Is there a cat? I thought I was hearing things for a second. 397 touches for Derrick Henry, and then we get all the way down to, before we get down to 200, the drop off's Frank Gore. So it's just one of those things where running backs are devalued. They keep betting on themselves, and they need to cut it out. Simply, it's not working. Austin Eckler is prime example, and good luck, Austin Eckler. He's going to end up like Dennis Schroeder, where Dennis Schroeder didn't re-sign for millions of dollars to bet on himself, and then ended up signing back for like $2 million because he sucked. So, all right, fantasy sauce. Okay, good win, Owen. I'm washed. Never mind, Owen's.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, I was reading Jen and toxic content or comments. But no, 2020
he got bored on Facebook. He wanted to switch over to YouTube.
That's right. That's right. You got to do what you got to do. He can have a conversation with himself.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into a little bit of the rest of the Week 14 action. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. Any games that stood out to you? Well, let me talk about something real quick. I'll go into injuries first, right? Yep. Tell me what you're hearing on the injury front, and what you expect. Okay, so just a few of the injuries, injury reports. The latest for the Packers: Jones and Dillon were questionable. Jones probably more likely to play than AJ Dillon, from what I'm hearing. Yep. Christian Watson is doubtful. Okay.
Yes.
What do you expect that to look like this week? I would imagine Watson's not playing. Okay. Right. If Watson's not playing, then who, Jaden Reed, I believe, was started the week last week or the week before. I can't remember. But who do you think steps up in his place the most?
It's going to be Jaden Reed again.
Okay.
And the logic is a lot of the same for Tampa Bay as it was for the Giants.
Yep.
Both defenses are bad covering the slot. Mm-hmm. Jaden Reed operates primarily, even more so without Christian Watson in the lineup, out of the slot.
Yep.
And you saw so many end arounds, you saw so many touch passes, quick passes, like just working out of the slot with Jaden Reed. And then that opens up more later on. Then you start going to Dontavian Wicks. Then you start going to Romeo Doubs, start going to Tucker Kraft down the middle, things like that. AJ Dillon, report is that he broke his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So he does have a fractured thumb. However,
but he taped it. I'm just playing.
Right. He did practice today, though. Officially listed as questionable.
Limited,
I don't know if he plays. If Aaron Jones plays, just because AJ Dillon's not playing does not mean that Aaron Jones will be unleashed again.
Right. I believe he's a top 20 back, though. I would give him top 20.
Correct. It's another one of those. It's not the efficiency you have to be worried about. It's the volume.
Yep.
How much are they going to, put him out there, especially with how is the game going type thing.
Game script, yeah.
If you are in a deep league, or if you are getting absolutely hounded by injuries, like a lot of people are, consider picking up Patrick Taylor. Patrick Taylor, third string running back for Green Bay. He was in there, operated very, very well these past 2 weeks, actually. Was doing his thing, whether it is running the ball right at the middle, the receiving game, whatever the case is. He's very shifty. He doesn't have that great top end speed.
Yep.
But he has incredible vision, and he's very shifty with his feet. So he'll make at least a couple people miss, get downfield a little bit along the sideline. And I like what I've seen out of Patrick Taylor. So
Patrick Taylor it is. All right. Be on the lookout for Patrick Taylor. Outside of that, so Aaron Jones, actually, target percentage, pretty good for when he's on the field, 13%, which has him about 10th. It's just a matter of him getting on the field. That has been the question. So I am an Aaron Jones owner, and I'm extremely frustrated with Aaron Jones because he's probably the reason that I lost the last 2 weeks not having him in there. So outside of that, what do you expect, or is there anything noteworthy that you expect from the Packers or anybody else that should be on people's radar going into playoffs?
I mean, yeah, like a lot of what I'm going to say is like, it could easily be taken and laughed off due to what you saw against the Giants. And that was an ugly game. It was pathetic. They looked a lot like the first half of the season Green Bay rather than they did the last 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
However, they're playing Tampa Bay this week. They play Carolina next week, and they play Minnesota the week after. So if you're in a league with defense, consider picking up Green Bay's defense because their defense has been doing a great job, circumstantially, all things considered.
Yeah.
It's going to be a matter of what type of Tampa Bay or offense are you going to be looking at?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it's Carolina, not worried about, by the way. we're not gonna go there. It's gonna be Tampa and Minnesota, which was the two games coming into this.
Carolina.
Yeah. Hi, Bryce Young.
Oops.
Hi, Bryce.
Hi, Bryce.
Yeah, but
anyway,
Tampa Bay and Minnesota were the two teams that I had circled on this like final stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because those are the two games that have the most like playoff implications.
Right.
Minnesota, Tampa, and Green Bay are all kind of muddled in there for the playoff race. Tampa might be able to win their division, I guess.
Maybe.
But yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Remember when CJ Stroud put up all those points against Tampa and everybody's like, well, anybody could do it against Tampa. And now we're talking about them potentially making the playoffs.
Right. Not just making the playoffs, winning the division.
Yeah. Speaking of Rachaad White, RB5 on the season with no efficiency.
I fucking love it.
With no efficiency.
He has been absolutely playing out of his mind these past 2 weeks.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It's just volume. It's strictly volume.
Yeah. So his efficiency numbers actually have looked a little bit better these past 2 weeks, but that's
it looks better.
There's been some breakaway runs. He's had 100 rushing yards in 2 of the last 3 games, and the one game that he didn't, he still averaged 4.2 a carry, 84 yards on the ground and a touchdown. So, Rachaad White, I'm actually tracking that he's RB4 on the season. But yeah, 5 touchdowns on the ground, 2 receiving touchdowns. Still insanely efficient through the air, 48 catches on 53 targets. And I mean, if he keeps it up going down this tear towards the end of the season, we could be looking at Rachaad White as a 1,000-yard rusher, 500-yard receiver, 1,500 all-purpose yards, and 10 total touchdowns. Which
crazy because he's not that good, in my opinion. I mean,
hey, just remember Edwards.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't even.
Just keep in mind that 2 years ago, Herm Edwards had Jaden Daniels, Johnny Wilson, Rachaad White, and someone else. There was one other person on the same team at Arizona State.
That's crazy.
They didn't win shit.
That's crazy.
The COVID year was actually, in my opinion, that was going to be the year that they were going to do something.
Well,
but
yeah.
I feel like everyone could say that and,
kind
of hide behind the, we'll never know.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
But yeah. Chip Trainum, the linebacker / running back for Ohio State, also Arizona State transfer.
Really?
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
The very same Chip Trainum that won the walk-off touchdown against Notre Dame this past year on the goal line.
I feel pain in your voice. I feel a lot of pain. More anguish.
It's more anger than anything.
Yeah.
ASU has just done me so dirty for years now. So
you're preaching to the choir. All right. Well, let me run through some of the injury notes. Just for anybody who needs to be tracking these injury notes, let me bring up what I saw the latest right before the show. So Dolphins, A-Chain Tyreek, questionable. Tyreek did not practice. So, oof. That might hurt a lot of people, but they're still saying he is 60-40 to play. So we'll see. Yep. Saints, Olave did not practice. Jamal Williams, questionable. Taysom Hill, Rashid Shaheed are good to go. So Feel comfortable firing them up. Like I said, Aaron Dillon and AJ.
They're
Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
AJ Jones and Aaron Dillon. It is.
I started that and I was like, that doesn't sound right. But then I was like, hold on, it's right. And then I was like, no, it's not. I was like, AJ Jones. No, that's definitely not right. Christian Watson's doubtful. Godwin questionable. Waller questionable. Brandon Cooks questionable and outs. Isaiah Pacheco is out. Brian Robinson, I didn't see the latest. I think he might be questionable or out.
Brian Robinson was ruled out.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. CJ Stroud, he's not playing. Probably not playing. Nico Collins, probably not playing. Speaking of, I'll get that when we get to Texans. Patriots, Devontae Parker, Juju, questionable. Ramondre Stevenson, out. Cardinals, Marquise Brown, limited. Michael Wilson, questionable. And then removed from the injury report, Dalton Kincaid, Kareem Hunt, Jerome Ford, and Breece Hall.
Yep.
So they practiced in full. They're good to go. So that is the injuries as we know them currently. I will be streaming tomorrow morning before the games, so I will update those accordingly on that stream. Chris had something to say to you. The bet I made with Chaney has been rescinded due to the Jaron Goff correction. Chaney took an L in the last week, and the seating changed. Dang.
Yeah. So the way that played out, actually, I'd like to talk about this stat correction for just a second.
Oh no! Oh hell! All right, go, and then I'm going off.
We'll bring this back up here. So
Yeah,
I beat my week 14 opponent by 3 points, or no, by like 2.5 is what it was. Started Jared Goff last week. Stat correction came out. Sleeper finally updated it yesterday. And they credited Jared Goff with a lost fumble that was not originally on the stat sheet. With that being said, in my redraft league, fumbling the ball is -2. Losing the fumble is an additional point lost.
That's weird. And
so I ended up losing my week 14 game by 1 point. And that alone dropped me from 8-6 to 7-7. I went from the...
Who made that rule?
I don't remember. I'm the commissioner. I should really know who makes these fucking rules.
A terrible rule.
I don't...
That's a terrible rule. Anyways.
Yeah.
You lost.
It's been there for years, and this league has been conceptualized for, I think, 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
We just never changed it.
I'm going to defend you. I'm going to defend you in this because I saw this comment.
Oh, no. It's fine. It's fine.
I got you back.
Anyway, I dropped from the 5th seed to the 6th seed because of this.
Yep.
And so like an hour before game time last night, my opponent completely changed. So Chris and I are no longer playing each other in the first round of the playoffs.
Nice.
We're on completely opposite ends of the bracket now. So the only logic or mathematically possible way that we play each other would be,
which is why he says you won't make it to that. So,
well, he started Austin Eckler last night and played against Devontae Adams. So you tell me who's not making it.
That's rough.
Yes.
That's rough. All right. Whoa.
White screen. Okay.
Hello.
We're back.
Death. White screen. All right. Let's get into a little bit more of the NFL action. I guess I can talk about.
You didn't want to address Chris's latest comment here?
I'm about to talk about the Texans game.
Okay.
I'll address it. Okay. Chris, have you seen your record? Have you seen your owner? Okay. Does that comment really do much for you? Is that game? Yeah, there you go. There's Bryce Young for you. Does that game make you feel better about the state of the Panthers franchise? You know, you could have had 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns 2 years ago, and you wouldn't do it. And now you traded your whole future for a midget. So I was going to say 5 foot. I don't know if it's fucking height. But anyways, let's get into the Texans game before I go off on this, sir, here. 30-6. Well, I don't know why I said before I go off. It's not like we won, and it's going to make me feel any better to talk about it. But this game was just chalked from the start. Reason being, right, the Texans were down to Noah Brown. This was our receiver core. Okay, Noah Brown. Okay. Oh my God. John Mechie, Noah Brown, John Mechie, Robert Woods, and Brevin Jordan, because Dalton Schultz, Nico, Tank Dell out. That was our pass catchers, right? I don't think Tom Brady could win with those against the Jets defense. That's what people don't understand. People talk about the Jets as being this horrible team, right? I get that, but their defense is stout, dude. And Zach Wilson channeled his inner Aaron Rodgers because that dude was making some throws I ain't seen him making his entire career. The only time I've seen him make those throws were when he was in shorts at the pro day and everybody just fell in love with him for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. No idea what happened, but I knew no matter what, we weren't going to win that game just because we had nobody to throw to. There was zero separation from any of our pass catchers. Like that receiving core. Panthers fans want to complain about their receiving core left and right. Okay. Now imagine losing your top two guys and then talk to me. Right. Okay. And then not only that, my quarterback got scrambled egg brains. So CJ Stroud hit his head, the back of his head when he got taken down once. It's a concussion. So Davis Mills probably going to be the starter this week, unfortunately. And Nico Collins probably going to be out, unfortunately. So yeah, that's not looking like a good day. Devin Singletary, 13 carries for 65 yards. Dameon Pierce, only 4 carries for 9 yards. It is pretty obvious that Devin Singletary is the guy. You know, even in a game where the Texans offense played terribly, he had 13 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown, had a good fantasy day when nobody else did on this team. What? All right. So, let me get into Zach Wilson a little bit. 27 for 36, 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Texans just lose to bad teams. Essentially, that's what it's come down to. We lose to bad teams. When we play the Jaguars, the officials help them, so that doesn't count. Garrett Wilson, 9 catches, 108 yards. Breece Hall, 8 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Breece Hall is, like I said, he's off the injury report, so he's ready. He's ready to go. He's ready to win you your playoff. All right, Chaney.
Yes.
What are your thoughts from this game? Any players of note from this game that you want to point out? I will say, again, I said last week, potentially look at John Mechie. John Mechie did not have a great game, but by all purposes, nobody did. The pass catching leader was Brevin Jordan with 3. Second was Xavier Hutchinson with 2. John Mechie, however, did get the most targets at 5. Him and Noah Brown had 5 each. So again, it might be worth a stash, you know, if you want to throw John Mechie just on your bench and just see what happens. Again, he tied Noah Brown for the most targets. So we'll see how it looks when Davis Mills come back out there. But at least there's something there. Brevin Jordan you could look at. He only had 3 targets, though. So, yeah, anything to touch on from this game? Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Zach Wilson?
Yeah. So in terms of Zach Wilson and his play, right?
Yep.
There was an inch, you know, before the game, there was that talk of like, oh, Zach Wilson is reluctant to resume his starting duties and stuff like that. And everyone was kind of calling him soft and stuff like that. And then he goes out and he plays extremely well. Like maybe not the first half, but the second half, they put up 30 unanswered points. Did tremendous stuff. Fed Garrett Wilson. I think with Zach Wilson, people fail to give credit where it's due.
Yep.
They would much rather go and laugh about, you know, all the bad versus.
Oh, I like to laugh at him too.
Sure, absolutely.
Just because he's an entitled little prick, a little rich kid, dude.
However, Garrett Wilson's floor and Breece Hall's floor significantly higher with Zach Wilson than any other quarterback that they were going to roll out this year.
Oh yeah, he's going to look to them first.
Minus, you know, the bionic Achilles.
Yeah. Tyler Conklin, though, I picked him up about 5 weeks ago, and he's been a good player ever since.
Yeah. So I'm happy to see Garrett Wilson get his touches, do good.
Yep.
They have a. Before I put my foot in my mouth here.
So I'm stretching my neck. Don't do that, Chaney. Don't put your foot in my mouth.
They have a good next 2 weeks of the fantasy playoffs, right? They got Miami this week. They got Washington the week after.
Mm-hmm.
Then they do have Cleveland. So, I mean, hey, but at the same time, if you can get through Miami and Washington, then, hey, you're doing something right with the rest of the team anyway. So, Garrett Wilson, 14 targets, 9 catches, 108 yards. No touchdowns. Put up 20 fantasy points with no touchdowns.
Yep.
Normally, people require that touchdown to put them over the 15, 16-point mark to get them in the end zone.
Yep.
We'll get to your question here shortly. The one thing that I do want to say about Zach Wilson is that after the game, they asked him what was different. And he simply said, look, man, like, I had nothing else to lose. Like, if I was bad, it was going to be another bad performance. And so he just went out there and he just slung it. He didn't care. He just went out and he stopped trying to be perfect.
Yep.
Just went out there and played football. The thing that he has been doing for 15 years in his youth up until this point. And paid dividends.
Yep.
So now you got a couple more games, Miami, Washington, and hopefully the defense continues to do their thing. I'm actually kind of interested with the Tyreek injury. What's that going to look like next week? I think Jalen Waddle obviously is going to be a step forward in rankings if anyone were to miss time. But at the same time, then you have Sauce Gardner covering you as the one. So we'll see what that looks like. But that's the Jets. Talking about the Texans, we talked about Brevin Jordan last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Dalton Schultz is coming back this week or not. That would be a question for you.
Yeah, I haven't seen any updates yet, so
Okay.
I'll check on those.
If he does, people forget Davis Mills liked his tight ends.
Yep. Okay.
Davis.
Dalton Schultz is he will play. Yes.
Okay. So everything I was about to say about Brevin Jordan, you can disregard.
Unless you want to bet on a rainy day that maybe Dalton Schultz will be limited, but even then, probably not a good idea.
Right. I stand by what I said about Noah Brown last week. People always tend to lean towards the "what have you done for me lately" and forget that 4 or 5 weeks ago, this man had 2 games over 150 receiving yards and just put forth one of the best fantasy performances of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I got loyalty to that. He won me a week, so I got him stashed in my redraft league, ready to go in case, just in case he's needed. So, but I'm with you on John Mechie as well, for sure.
Yeah. Stash Mechie if you can. All right, I don't want to spend any more time on this game because it makes me sad. Let's go over into the game that makes me happy. Jaguars losing to the Browns. You love to see it. T-Law, 3 interceptions. Sorry, Corey. T-Law, 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, 257 yards. Travis Etienne, 14 carries, 35 yards, and a tutty. 4 receptions for 37 yards. Not the best game for him, but you know who it was a good game for? Evan Ingram. Sorry for anybody who played against me. I did. This guy right here played against Evan Ingram. It was not fun. So, Evan Ingram, 11 receptions, 95 yards, 12 targets. 11 receptions on 12 targets is kind of crazy. 23-yard is the long and 2 tutties. Calvin Ridley, 4 receptions, 53 yards. Man, has it been a headache if you're a Calvin Ridley owner, right? Zay Jones had 5 receptions. Mm-hmm. Zay Jones is like a criminal now and had more receptions than Calvin Ridley. Dearness Johnson, he's not really gonna. I mean, he's getting a little bit more mixed in the action. He clearly took over for Tank Bigsby. But what's your take on this pass catching? Whatever we want to call it, it's just the Evan Ingram show right now. What's your take on Calvin Ridley and this wide receiver core? Christian Kirk seems to be a big part of this, as we saw. He was the PPR guy. He was the reception guy over the course of the season.
Well, they're paying him to be a big part of the offense, so it would only make sense. You know what I mean? Like they signed into that big ass contract 2 years ago, and Calvin Ridley is on a 1-year prove it deal. So if you look at it from that perspective, it makes sense that Christian Kirk was like the producer.
Yep.
I'm not saying Christian Kirk is more talented than Calvin Ridley, because we all remember what Calvin Ridley was just 2-3 short years ago.
What he was supposed to be coming in this year was a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to be like a locked and loaded, maybe top 12 guy, top 10.
Yep. But I feel like the Jaguars, they kind of pulled the hood over all of us, right? They saw everyone like, oh, Calvin Ridley. He's going to be the one. And they were simply like, we'll put him out there on the depth chart as the one, but we got a bunch of other dudes that are more than capable of running that rock down people's throats.
Yep.
Travis Etienne, who's having a tremendous year. He's a little banged up the past couple of weeks, but he's having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Ingram. You already touched on Evan Ingram. Christian Kirk was. Zay Jones was, until he missed a couple of weeks due to some legal proceedings, but he's back. I don't anticipate he would miss any more of the season, usually because the NFL doesn't suspend players until legal proceedings are over.
Right.
So that would be like a next year thing, probably. And I attribute Trevor Lawrence's 3 picks to some limitations on the ankle.
That fake ankle injury. Cool.
But
the cart guys, I'm a warrior.
So, full circle with your question on Calvin Ridley. I don't think Calvin Ridley fully reaches his potential with that team until Trevor Lawrence is fully healthy. And I'm not saying healthy enough to go out and play.
He was healthy 2 weeks ago.
Right. No, I get it, but he was starting to pick it up before that.
Yeah.
He's trash. If the ankle is what the Jaguars were initially reporting, and Trevor Lawrence is somehow just playing through that type of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, I don't agree with doing that anyway, because it hurts your team first and foremost if you're going to play bad. And two, you might be waiting all the way up till the end of the season for Calvin Ridley to finally come to fruition, which is kind of a wash.
Yep.
Anyway.
A little bit more on Calvin Ridley here. So I have the numbers up from 2021 to in 2023, right? So efficiency. In efficiency, let's look at target separation, right? Okay. Which is this is crazy to me. Target separation in 2021, he was number 12, and target separation this year, number 82. So, definitely not winning his routes like he was. No. His EPA, which is just overall efficiency, he's 198. He was 70. He's minus 1.9. He was plus 18.7 in 2021. QB rating per target, number 81. QB rating per target this year is better than it was in 2021, and he's performing worse. He has 100% route participation, right? Number 48 in target share, or target rate, target share number 35, snap share number 20, routes run number 11. He is right there, and it just seems to be him. That's the issue. I mean, looking at these numbers, his total route wins versus or just total route wins in general, he was number 5 in 2021, number 71 this year. He's not winning his routes.
Yeah.
Routes versus man. He's actually doing better versus man coverage. I'm sorry. No, he's got better or less routes versus man, or no, more routes versus man. Sorry. And then 2021, he had a 49.4% win rate, which was number 3 in the NFL. Okay. This year, he's number 44 at 38.9%. Okay. It's just he's not getting it done. And it's him. It's nobody else but him right now. Just looking at the efficiency numbers, his target quality is fine. You know, he has his catchable target rate back then. He was 73 in the NFL, and this year he's 75. So the catchable targets, they're still catchable. It's the only thing that's changed is his win rate is significantly declining. So anything more before we move on from that?
No. No.
All right.
I think we covered that.
Yep. Any other games in particular you want to touch on? Philly, Dallas was a shellacking. To put it. Oh, shoot. We got somebody down. We do.
And so I'll go ahead and I'll do this little introduction here.
All right. Do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, good friend of the show, good personal friend of mine, all the way dating back to the 2016 when we were just a couple of young junior sailors engaging in malarkey on board the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, John Smith.
He's gray and underway.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sitting in a park.
I can't see my head anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
There we go.
What's up?
John, how you doing today?
Good. I was listening to the show, and I'm sitting in the parking lot of my apartment complex because I don't have a couch to sit on in my apartment.
You could have just sat in the empty living room and had the sound bounce all over the walls. You know, that would have been fun. Yeah,
let me know if this sounds bad. You can always
no, it sounds good.
It's better than Chaney. I'm just playing.
Oh, I'm actually setting up the studio as we speak.
Good. Love it.
That way it looks more professional next time I call in.
Oh,
man.
Oh, good.
Well, so my grandma did have a question regarding.
He's out. Aaron Rodgers is out. I saw that earlier.
Yes. He is out. However, I did pull up news article regarding his progress.
He intercepted a pass.
Yes. So his rehab program has him playing, practicing twice a week with the team. Report was he took another step forward today, and he was actually playing QB for 7-on-7 drills. The next step is to get approved for 11-on-11. And then after that would be full contact.
So next season. Got
it. He was playing scout team defense, apparently made a nice leaping interception. Not just intercepting pass, but a nice leaping interception. Hey, I don't know.
I'm leaping.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm only reading what I can read.
Dude's feet left the ground.
Leaping. That's the extent of the elaboration on leaping.
If Aaron Rodgers' toes come off the ground, it is a leap.
So basically every time he throws.
Essentially. Except now.
Yeah. But no, I don't think he'll come back this year. If they were actually in a playoff position, I would say, hey, maybe. Just from knowing the competitor that he is. I know he wants to return this year, but if I'm Robert Saleh and that coaching staff, I'm saying,
you ain't risking that.
Look, man, no.
Especially with Zach Wilson looking like the second coming Tom Brady. I mean, They don't play the Texans every week, okay? We just play terrible against bad teams. That's what it is. All right, John, what say you about this weekend? Do you have any comments on anybody in particular that you love or hate? Do you want to vent?
No, yeah. I mean, I did want it to be known that I predicted that the Packers were going to lose to the Giants, and I was ridiculed.
We can also bring up your Steelers predictions prior to 2 weeks ago if you'd like to continue down that route.
No, let's not go there, Gene.
Okay. Right.
I mean, all I know is
what have you done for me lately?
My bad. Go on.
All I know is in our lifetime, I think it's only been for the last as long as Mike Tomlin's been a coach, the Steelers have been over 500. So
Yep.
Yeah. No, like as far. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know if I told you this, but before the Texans, I actually liked the Steelers because I wasn't a Cowboys fan. I grew up hating the Cowboys. I just like Jerome Bettis.
That's fair.
For what it's worth, I've always been partial to Steelers.
Yep, the bus. Got to respect it.
No, I mean, the bus was just like, it was more than football. Yeah, it was more than just football with him too. He was a great community leader, and it was just hard not to love him.
I really like Hines Ward on Dancing with the Stars.
He's like up for his I think it's like his 10th time or 9th time.
Is he going on again? All right, and we lost John. All right.
Oh no!
Apparently, StreamYard doesn't like talking about Hines Ward or Dancing with the Stars.
They allowed him back in. I'm glad Chaney didn't ban you.
And he's back. Go on.
Did you?
You banned him.
No, it's. I was just talking like Hines Ward. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I know that's not what this show's about though. But like as far as what I like, I'm kind of like. I mean, considering this is a fantasy podcast, but you guys dissect all these games and stuff. I don't know. I think that I think there's some players with some great matchups this week, especially the wide receiver position. I was looking at a few in particular. I honestly didn't think that Devontae Adams was going to have that good of a game, but they kind of, they force fed him, and they kept the offense on the field for like 3.5 quarters. So like he was gonna get something. I'm happy he got the touchdown because I'm actually playing Owen this week. I'm on the other side of that fiasco.
Yeah,
probably the best game Devontae Adams gonna have.
Yeah, actually, that was 100% a ceiling game for him this year. Which sucks, but.
Chris said, "Spit it out."
Owen, how about you hop in here? You deliver the pizza, and then hop in here.
He's busy collecting tips.
I'm actually waiting for my pizza from him.
Oh, that's funny.
I got a pizza and two carbonaras.
Nice. There you go. No, I'm looking at your guys' matchup right now, and you know what? Since he's talked enough trash, I'd really like to dissect this here for a second. Let's go ahead and let's bring this on here, right? So let's get a little zoom action in here, right? So he's got Jalen Hurts. He's probably got you against Sam Howell there, especially against Seattle, right? And there is this.
Why did that?
There is Mr. Austin Eckler, where he had 9 touches for 30-something yards, and then we can continue down here. We talked about Breeze. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be all right, sure. Saquon against New Orleans should be fine. Pollard, depends really what Tony Pollard you get. Dallas Cowboys this year.
To be honest with you, I'm really thinking about. I know, like you're going down the lineup, but I'm like kind of thinking about starting Ty Chandler this week with no Madison. I hate Madison. Me and
you do.
Justin definitely agree. Yeah. No, like I drafted him at such a good spot for what he was doing early on, just getting 20 carries a game. But no, he is less than Mr. 3 yards a carry.
If people can't tell by the show that I am an efficiency nerd, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm all efficiency. So he not efficient whatsoever. He was purely volume. Najee Harris, very similar.
Rashad White, baby.
Anyway, sorry. Back where you were. I digress.
Yeah.
Owen's gonna win.
So you said Ty Chandler, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking I have him in right now over DK, which is kind of ballsy, and I haven't really decided whether or not I want to. But I'm thinking that Nick Mullins, yes, he's gonna force feed, Hawkinson. He's gonna force feed Jefferson. That was actually one of the games I was gonna try to hit on real quickly.
Yep.
It was that is for everyone in the fantasy playoffs that has players on either of those teams. I'm projecting Jefferson's playing. I'm projecting him over 25 points. I'm projecting Chase over 25 points. Those two I'm thinking are 1 and 2 this week. I know that might be a little crazy, but I'm thinking 1 and 2 in no specific order.
Not that crazy. Yeah. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
Go ahead.
Zamir White or Ty Chandler?
Rest of season?
This is next week.
Assuming both Josh Jacobs and
Ty Chandler.
Madison are out.
I think Ty Chandler. I think Ty Chandler is more in a top 25 range, potentially top 20. I think Zamir White. I just think Zamir White's a better overall player, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ty Chandler. Did I say that right? I think Ty Chandler is a better overall player. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zamir is okay, right? He's decent, but I think Ty Chandler is potentially top 20 this week, but I'd probably leave him around 20, 25-ish.
Well, I think the key to remember here is that Zamir White is not playing the Los Angeles Chargers every single week. You know what I mean? Like Ty Chandler playing Cincinnati this week, he could have just as good of a game as Zamir White did this week because Cincinnati's defense is also bad.
Correct.
And now that Jake Browning has shown that he actually has some sort of competency at the quarterback position, you know what I mean? Like, it's very possible that this could be a good game.
Yep.
So, I mean, we'll see. But the NFL is just wild this year.
Do y'all want to talk about the call?
The what?
The call.
The call?
Mm-hmm. The Chiefs.
Oh.
Let's talk about it.
Oh, that is definitely what I considered.
Let's talk about it.
Who in our league had Kadarius Toney's nickname set to try this in a small town, Tony?
I have no idea. That's so funny.
And that was prior. That was circa this play.
That is fantastic.
I think it was Declan. It was Declan or Barrington.
That's funny.
Like 20 minutes.
That's amazing. Okay, so my thing on this is, right, the officials, right? Okay, so Patrick Mahomes is a crybaby. Big fat crybaby. First off, Chiefs fans are big fat crybabies, okay? The Eagles and the Chiefs statistically have been the favor of most calls this season, more than anybody. Again, I touched on it last week. Now they're 7-1, but the Eagles were 7-0 with that head official that was officiating this week. Okay, that guy, the officials even came out and said he was so offsides that they couldn't see the ball. He was like lined up with the linebacker's lead foot, damn near. Okay, so his argument is that it shouldn't have been called in that moment, right? And I'm sure we've all seen the video where they're talking about, well, I think Barstool posted it. You know, that's how y'all won the Super Bowl, you know, on a call similar to that. And then people were pointing out the Tyreek Hill where his foot's on the line. Something people need to understand. That line is unofficial, okay? You could not see the ball in the picture with Tyreek. You can see a straight line in the ball on the picture of Kadarius Toney, and he is well offsides, right? It's not even the line. The line's unofficial. Stop paying attention to that. Stop throwing that out there. What is y'all? I am a Chief guy, dude. I am a Patrick Mahomes dude. You know, that is my guy. I will defend him.
The fuck are we saying?
Never. Okay. Which I take.
Some
Trying
Stockholm syndrome.
Trying to sound unbiased. All right, Chaney. What say you on that?
What say I on Patrick Mahomes?
On the call.
Boom, baby.
Hey,
That's what I see.
Let's
That's
get
what
it.
I say.
Salute. What baby?
Now you know what I was doing while I was just being quiet. I was
What,
trying to find the right picture.
I'm Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. No,
That was a terrible call.
End of the day, specifically on the comment saying, "Oh, you shouldn't call it at that moment." If that's the case, then what? You just the last play of the last play of the game is just a free for all. Is that what we're like saying that is allowed? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Basically, it doesn't matter how egregious it is.
Rip a player down by their horse collar and just not expect a penalty to be called. Like
Exactly.
No, it's the rule. It's the fucking. Just because they don't call it before or whatever throughout the game doesn't mean that you can start to rely on it not being called later on.
Exactly.
If you know it's the rule, And if anyone has ever played Pee-wee football, the first thing you do is learn how to line up correctly. You learn how to huddle. You learn how to line up. That's it. That's like the number one, number two.
Yep.
And there's the video of like Kadarius Toney like running to the line and like he throws his arm up to like check with the ref as he's still coming up to the line.
But the official never
acknowledgement from the ref.
The official never even acknowledged him.
Like it's different because there was one where a similar situation happened with Washington where Terry McLaurin checked with the ref and the ref actually gave him acknowledgement.
Yep.
And then threw
the flag. I remember that. Yep.
You would have a little bit more,
right after he acknowledged him.
Yeah, he acknowledged him and then whoop, he said, yeah, man, thanks for pointing. Fuck you.
Like, hey, Chaney.
Go on.
Be careful what you say. Brittany's watching.
That's Brittany, bitch.
Oh man. That's
Hold on,
funny.
try talking with this on the screen. That's terrifying.
I can't, man. But
John, what? Oh, sorry, Chaney, continue.
No, it just the main point that I really want to get across is like every fan base at some point in time bitches about the referees.
Jacksonville Texans.
There you go.
That was the one game where officiating lost us the game. Specifically, I've bitched about calls. That game, they lost us the game.
Look, man, the most egregious no call or the most egregious missed call that I have ever seen in my life came against Green Bay and Seattle.
No, it's the playoffs. Nickel, Roby Coleman, and Saints and Rams.
Okay, well, yeah. No, I'll give you that. Okay. All right. You get me on that one. The second worst call that I've ever seen was Green Bay catches a game-winning interception in the end zone, and the receiver catches the defender, and the refs called it a receiving touchdown.
Those were replacement refs in their defense.
Don't care.
Those were replacement officials.
Do not care. They were
the regular ones got hired back next week. That call was so bad.
Yes, it spurred change. It was a riveting movement. Brought me to tears, actually.
Yeah.
But the point is every fan base has some sort of fucking call about, the refs hate us, the refs, and then every other fan base has a response of, no, the refs fucking love you. The MVP of your team is the refs. Like
Chiefs and Eagles.
Refs, they've been bad this year. I will say that. Refs have been atrocious this year.
Yeah.
But when you go up to the line of scrimmage, you know how to line up to the fucking line of scrimmage properly, like that is something so unavoidable or something so avoidable that you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep. John, what's your say on that penalty or lack thereof, as Patrick Mahomes likes to say? What's your take on that? Obvious is clear as day?
Yeah. No, like I'm not even gonna beat the dead horse with it. Like it's at a professional level, and I say this with not even just football, with like hockey is probably one of my favorite sports to watch. And the most annoying thing is when people like bitch about the refs calling offsides in hockey where they don't have it just blown dead. There's touch up offsides for like the higher level of hockey and stuff. And every single time I hear bitching about it, I'm like, they're professionals and it's touch up offsides. If you're offsides in any sport and any placement issue, like position, and I think I heard like someone say it, like so I'm not going to take credit for it, but like literally anyone that plays sports, it's always going to be position and assignment. And they just were way out of whack. And it wasn't the first time during that game. And I know it happens and stuff, and it sucks because that was a really cool play.
Well, they got away with an offsides for the entire game.
They did. And it was the final play. And honestly, I don't know if you guys talked about it earlier or talked about it like off camera, but it was like they either had like an illegal receiver downfield because I think it was like it was like the right tackle or something.
I think it was an illegal formation or something.
Illegal
Maybe
formation.
It wasn't. Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah, because the right tackle wasn't covered.
Yeah, because typically an eligible man downfield tends to be on screen passes when the screen pass isn't there and the linemen get too far down the field.
True.
So I think it was like a formation thing.
Yeah, it was No, you're absolutely right. And I was like, that gets called like so often. So it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, they were out of position, and it cost them the game. And that's something that they need to. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they need to like get down on those. Those receivers are awful. Like, Rashee Rice is fine. Like, I like him. I'm actually like looking forward to watching him for the years to come.
Yep.
But the rest of them, like,
get him out.
It is embarrassing to watch a team that like has won multiple Super Bowls with like subpar receivers because they have Kelsey, they have Mahomes, they have obviously great defense, but like. They're fraudulent. Yeah, they have Kelsey and you know what? Even Pacheco. Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire filling in for the game. I liked it. Like their only issue this year is their receiving core, and that's pretty embarrassing considering who you have thrown to you. Like he puts it on the money, he takes shots, and
his offensive his coach schemes to his advantages.
I agree, but he's still. In my opinion, he's still a top 5 quarterback, and
top 10.
Regardless, I don't know about that, but he's legit, and the receivers just aren't doing their jobs. Like even teams with like Danny DeVito, his receivers, okay, maybe not. He's not a good example, but there's worse quarterbacks than Patrick Mahomes, whose receivers are at least on the same page, and it's obvious. But no, it's unacceptable.
And I think, well, speaking of Tommy DeVito, his agent, it might be a member of the mafia. I don't know if you saw him, so I would watch what you say about.
Yeah, it's Paul Gualtieri.
Tony Montana. Okay, my thing is, it's taking. My thing is, it's taking the heat off who it should be on, which is Kadarius Toney, right? Like,
thank you.
How many weeks is this guy going to get away with losing them the game before they just get rid of him?
Give him the
He's a liability at this point. He's losing you games. Like, it's not like he's there not producing. He is legitimately losing you games.
Yep.
Like, he's got to go. Like, wins above replacement. It's like wins below the starter for him. Like,
he was a first round pick, and the Chiefs traded like a 3rd round pick for him. That should just answer the question right there. He's not worth the trouble.
He could never stay healthy to begin with. That was the biggest thing with him. He couldn't stay healthy. And he got hurt right when they got him, and now he can't catch. So he's got a case of the Quentin Johnsons.
You know what's funny too is that Kadarius Toney, the only reason, like in my opinion, the only reason he was drafted so high was again the shorts practice tape. Got him up. He ran a couple crazy routes where he broke a couple Division III football players' ankles.
Yep.
And or whatever type of football they play down in Gainesville nowadays. But yeah, and sure enough, he got drafted, and then he started faking injuries because he didn't want to play for the Giants, Manny Ramirez style, and then
disgusting.
Yeah. Only difference was he didn't have the talent that Manny Ramirez had, so couldn't get away with it. So,
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, but that's all.
All right. Anything else? I got an interesting game we can play if y'all don't want to touch on anything else, and we end up with our gaming session.
Let's get into gaming, dude.
Last week we did Immaculate Grid.
Okay.
Here's what we're doing this week.
What's up, Jackson? Thanks for hopping in, man.
Yeah, I appreciate Jackson. Jackson is the host of the Jacksonian on YouTube. So go check that out. I've been on there, and it's a great show. And I'm loading this up here, Chaney. So just give me a moment.
Go? There he is.
Give me just a moment if y'all want to chat while I do this.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, John.
How you feeling about Logan Thomas?
Yeah.
I have no choice. I have to start him. I want to start your guy, Bevan Johnson, right?
Bevan Jordan.
Bevan Jordan.
Close.
But I mean,
Bevan Johnson.
Yeah, just some no-name player
Aaron
on
Dillon.
Houston.
AJ Jones.
AJ Jones, baby.
Yeah, but no, I will be starting Logan Thomas. I will live and die by Logan Thomas this year on that dynasty team. He is all I have.
All right. Actually, I got it up, guys.
Let's do it.
All right, we got 3 minutes on this one. So I got to get it up ASAP. Where did StreamYard go?
Can we try Blue
All right, here we go. Sharing screen now. You can help us, John.
Oh,
Selecting it. 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Where we at?
Where the hell are we?
Oh, Jesus.
oh! I play this game.
Well,
all the
GeoGuessr.
Yes, sir.
GeoGuessr.
Okay.
It looks like Italy, just based on the
It's
There's
definitely
a-
Europe.
Yeah,
somewhere.
definitely looks like Italy.
Give me Naples. No, that's too clean to be Naples.
No, give me. Florence.
We got to agree. We got to agree.
You know what? That
What does
might
this
be.
building look like to
That
you?
might be near the Vatican, honestly, in
No,
Rome.
It's too clean to be Rome.
Oops.
I'd say like Milan.
I'd say Milan or Florence.
Milan or Florence. I think those are some great guesses.
on.
I think we go with your guess, Mister.
Don't judge.
I was stationed in Greece.
Don't judge my map.
Completely different fucking country than Italy.
Architecture is pretty similar. Change.
All right, where we going? Naples?
No. Go north.
Either
North.
Florence or Milan.
Florence is first. I say let's go.
Bologna.
Let's go Milan.
Milan?
Yeah. Pick somewhere in the
Okay.
fucking city center.
Let's say not Chinatown. This doesn't look like Chinatown.
Milan has a fucking Chinatown?
I
Everywhere
guess.
has a
I thought
Chinatown.
that was an
Except
American
for China.
thing.
Here, look. Here's a cross. Church.
All right, Chris. Let's.
Oh, it was Rome.
Oh, it was Rome.
Oh man,
I said that.
it's unfortunate. All right, let's get to the next one.
It's too clean to be Rome.
Museums. Let's find this museum. We're at ABBA the Museum. Sweden.
definitely-
Okay, it's on
definitely
easy, so it's giving us some hints. There's the entrance.
Definitely
Anybody-
in Stockholm.
Anybody been there?
No. I just
Okay.
know ABBA's from Sweden.
How do I zoom in? Wait, let me go forward. I forgot I can move. Okay.
Owen said
Spirit
Casa.
Museum. It's Kungl Dirge Garden. Kungl Dirge Garden.
That's awful, Owen.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Is that the only place in Sweden you know?
Kungl Dirge Garden.
No.
Y'all know what where's Sweden? Y'all know what Kungl Dirge Garden is?
There's also Gothenburg and
You had to look it
Karlstad
up.
and other cities that I
Just
can't
pick-
pronounce properly.
Pick wherever you think Ragnar Lothbrok would have been from.
Well, he's from Norway,
Greenland.
so
Are y'all helping me? Guys,
Stockholm,
help.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Why is
Stockholm.
it so tree-y, bro?
There's trees all over the world.
We're going Stockholm. Is that just 'cause
Stockholm.
it's the only one we know?
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's not just Stockholm, bro. I think it's a little bit over here in London.
Fine.
Or
Yes.
Leuven.
It
No, wait,
definitely looks
it's
like
not.
the
This is
northwest
definitely not.
quadrant of Stockholm.
This is definitely not on a.
Put it on the
island.
green area because of the trees.
I think it's near. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go like Lovon. Let's go to Lovon. Are we at Dogdricum
I
Slot?
said Beaumont. I was like, we're in Beaumont, Sweden.
Oh, dude, I missed.
What happened?
It was wrong. I accidentally clicked too fast, but it was east. It was east a little bit, not way east.
That's in France.
Okay,
No. Is that Buckingham?
No.
It might be France then. Look at
who's Konung Karl, the ninth? This is all right. So they have the ninth and shit. So there's got to be some
So is
England
this-
type of place.
Is this like Poland?
look at the license plate, even if it is like
But I
etched out.
can't really tell. That looks like
That's a standard European license plate.
yeah, that looks like just Europe in general. What does this guy look like? Okay, he looks European. We're in Europe, confirmed.
They all.
These guys look European. All right, this guy's on a bike, so it's not America.
Is
They're
there any
helpful.
writing on the building that we can zoom in on?
Yeah, we got Konog Oscar II, and we got that other guy that's over there. I'm too far away to read now. Other than that,
I'm gonna roll with I'm gonna roll with Ukraine. Just Chris just dropped it in at the same time. Yeah.
At the same time. That was fine.
Bet you anything it doesn't look like this now.
Put it in
look.
Kyiv.
That guy looks like Kyiv. I only heard of that because it's on 90 Day Fiance.
Nice.
Oh, and Skansen.
I'm thinking Kyiv
Wisconsin?
or Krakow.
Oh, Skansen.
No, Skansen.
I got you.
A lot of English for Ukraine.
There's no city signs in this country. Okay, so there's a little port here. It looks like they got yachts and stuff. Cheddar Homelick. I don't know what that says. Hold on, guys. I'm
hearing Wisconsin. I'm hearing Cheddar.
I'm trying to read it.
Looks like Green Bay, Wisconsin to me.
I'm trying to read a different language here, Chaney. Here's a bus, dude. Let's check this bus out.
I'm telling you, my final answer is Kyiv.
Oh, go back. That's a language. Oh my God. How to cross the street again? Festive Skepsbro. Who has dots over their O's like that?
Every Scandinavian country ever.
That's not. Yeah, that's not.
Okay. Maybe Denmark.
Norway. Yeah, Denmark, Norway.
I'm gonna roll Denmark. This is Copenhagen.
Stockholm.
I swear to God.
That's his name.
Tyler, the creator.
Ooh, we're in Skansen. We're definitely in Skansen. Oh yeah, which country?
No, this got to be Stockholm.
Yeah, Stockholm.
Look at every single poster. It says Stockholm on it. It's Stockholm.
Yeah, but we're in Skansen, Stockholm.
Is Skansen a real place?
We're Sweden. Oh.
Yeah.
Weren't we just in Sweden?
We guessed Sweden. I don't know if it was right.
Skansen.
15 seconds.
Skansen. Skansen's over here somewhere.
Sure.
Shit.
There we go.
We're right in the middle of fucking Stockholm.
There we go. I always go to the center of the city on these things.
All right. Towers or beaches? We're almost there.
Beaches.
Really? You think beaches is easier? All right, let's do it.
Well, towers would have been easier in 2001.
Yeah, okay, we're in Spain. No.
A lot of my jokes are flying right
over.
Yeah,
zoom in on the sign.
S Portixel.
Portugal.
What says port? Suntai.
No, this is definitely Lisbon.
Yeah, this is definitely Portugal.
Lisbon,
Portugal.
What do those buildings look like, guys? Does it look like Portugal?
Looks like an Atlantis resort, honestly.
Yeah, put something on the coast in Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Oh, we got more time though. We can confirm.
Yeah, we do.
We got.
Chris says Papua New Guinea. I think he's wrong.
Papua New Guinea.
I think Owen is completely wrong.
Municipal de Levante. That's Spanish. Oh God, there's a light pole.
Well, Portugal is right next to it.
Municipal de Levante. So we're in a municipality called De Levante. There's Coca-Cola. Neighbor. Hi, neighbor. What are these people? Oh, Palma Placas. Yeah, we're definitely in Spanish somewhere.
I'm telling you, it's Lisbon.
Yeah, it's definitely Portugal, and then Chaney's. Yeah, because Lisbon is on the coast.
Lisbon.
Okay. Rent a car.
You know where it could be near, Chaney? It could be near.
Oh, what is that?
The Straits of Gibraltar.
Could be.
We're at Lumpia. Maloka. Lumpia.
Well, now we're talking Philippines.
Oh, I'm sorry, Olympia. Jesus Christ. Olympia. The L and the I together threw me off, all right?
It's fair.
Empenos.
The zoom on these things is fucking crazy.
I know.
Rent a car. That's English. All right.
Okay, so there's graffiti. All right, so where we're at again?
Lisbon,
Portugal.
Coca-Cola. That's what they call it over there. Coca-Cola. Oh God, not there.
Yep, not there.
Portugal.
Left.
Dude, don't judge my map. No,
you're good, man. It's right next to Spain.
I see it.
Yeah, Spain and Morocco.
And you said where?
South. Lisbon.
Right Lisbon. There. Oh my God. All right. Where are we at? We're going to go. Let's go. There's a park right here.
Right along the coast.
No, there's a park right here. Yeah. Let's go out Parque Masado.
Okay, go south of that park.
Yeah. On the water still. Yeah.
Oh, on the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like over here.
Right there.
Yeah.
But we're closer to the park.
That works. I think we're getting too meticulous with this.
No. Oh,
And we were completely wrong anyway.
Palma, bro. Palma. I didn't know that was a fucking city.
Where is
All
that?
right.
What is that?
Palma. Bridges. All right, let's
San
finish it
Francisco.
up on Bridges. Okay, here we go.
Golden
Hey,
Gate
San
Bridge.
Francisco.
Oh,
Golden Gate Bridge.
that was anti-climax.
All this word even fucking came up.
Do we see homeless people? Let's
Where
confirm.
is Rebirth Island?
Do we see homeless people? There's porta potties. No homeless people on the freeway, but I'm assuming they're nearby.
Is
Yeah.
that good? Is there anyone trying to jump off?
Let's confirm. Yeah, call 511 traffic info. Yeah. Actually,
Christopher.
I think in the last frame he was there, but when I scoot forward, I think he jumped. So not there anymore.
Christopher, you don't have to jump.
All right, so we're going San Fran.
Yeah.
Where is this bridge?
Oh,
Where's
man.
the United States? All right,
Here we go.
let's go to this shit stain on the map over here.
Here you go, San Francisco. It connects San Francisco and Oakland.
Yeah.
Nope, to the right.
Where are we at on it? Let me go back to where we're at. Let me go back to where we're at on the bridge, to where we started.
Get it within 3 meters.
So, dude, that's the goal. We got to get it right. So we were on not quite the middle.
South
So
side.
yeah, so we're over
To the
here.
right, to the right. Different bridge, different bridge.
Yeah, different bridge.
Oh,
It's way-
wait.
To the right.
Oh yeah, I'm an idiot.
To the right.
Where
that
am
one.
I?
There it
Look at this
is.
zoom out. Hold on. Oh, we're here.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the bridge.
Oh, there it is. And we're like over here.
Sure. Works for me.
I thought I was right. What are y'all doing?
Dang.
I was like, what are y'all talking about?
We picked the wrong bridge. Fuck.
They-
No, I was at the right bridge. Y'all
You
told me.
did.
Y'all me questioning my sanity,
We zigged when we should have zagged.
man.
I honestly
That
like when
L.
I was there, I thought it was pause. Never mind.
Y'all had me questioning my sanity. All right, guys.
Me on the
Well,
fucking
let me get Brittany Mahomes off my screen. I was saving her picture so I could pull it up here. Stop
I
screen
think
sharing.
Pat Mahomes with no hair would look like Pete Davidson.
Dude, that's terrifying to see Patrick Mahomes on my screen when I click off of it. All righty. Okay, so guys, there will be a stream tomorrow. Okay, so anybody here watching who wants to join on the stream tomorrow will be streaming before the Saturday games. What time they start? Normal time?
Hold on. I can get the actual answers.
I'll be on 1 hour before the game start.
One game starts at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard.
Is Steelers in
What's
India,
the
right?
name?
Then
Okay,
it
cool.
starts in Cincinnati, and then there's one game 2:30 p.m., one game 6:15 p.m.
Cool. So
Kinda
I will
like
be
the
on.
Thanksgiving Day lineup.
Cool. I'll be on an hour before the games to answer any start-sit questions going into the playoffs, trying to be here for y'all as much as we can. And then we will be here on Sunday. It'll be just me solo tomorrow. Chaney will be back on Sunday for our OnlyFantasy live streams. We appreciate everybody being in here with us. We'll take John off with us. You can come off. You can sign off with us. So we appreciate everybody's time, everybody being here and watching. Hope y'all enjoyed Friday Night Lights. Again, we will be back on fantasy strictly content on the weekends. So join us tomorrow. Join us Sunday. If you don't mind leaving a like, subscribe. If you like the content, it really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, Chaney, anything you want to say to the people?
Nope. Thanks for everyone coming in, dropping likes, dropping follows, dropping comments, dropping lefts, dropping rights, all sorts of everywhere. Appreciate
Being
you guys.
terrible at GeoGuessr?
Yeah.
John, anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, I want to congratulate Owen on his win this week.
Congrats. I'm assuming he didn't win. All right.
Jay
Well,
Daniels departing.
Yep, departing. Appreciate everybody. Permission to come aboard. Permission to go short. All right. Appreciate everybody joining again. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and I will see y'all in the morning. Peace.